A very good morning to you. Welcome to Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. Yes, that is our aim here at Motivation Monday, to cause you to rethink some of the things that you have thought about, but even more, to cause you to have a more enriching, more fulfilled life. Now, where are you tuned in from? Where are you listening to us from? Where are you watching us from? We'd love to hear from you. 20316 is our SMS line. 0786316316 is our WhatsApp line. Now, what do you do if you suffer under the hands of those who love you, who ought to protect you, who ought to shield you? What happens when a young girl is sexually assaulted? What happens in the event that through that perhaps a pregnancy ensues? How does society view those kinds of situations, and what are the options that are available for such a victim? Today on Motivation Monday, we are having a conversation on protect life. Protect life. And helping us to have this conversation is one of the directors of Protect Life Movement Trust, an organization that seeks to rescue girls in crisis pregnancies, to give them hope and to ensure that they can actually realize there are many options beyond just murdering that innocent baby. And so kindly do join me as we have this conversation with Mrs. Margaret Mwaura. Karibu sana.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, what an honor and a privilege it is to have this sitting with you. And so kindly, just by way of introduction, help us to appreciate who you are and where you serve, especially in regard to the conversation that we're having today.
Thank you, Pastor Elijah. My name, as you said, is Margaret Mwaura. Professionally, I retired 6 years ago as a management consultant, and in those, and even before, I had started working with the Protecting Life Movement Trust, volunteering with Protecting Life Movement Trust, working closely with our late Dr. Kagia, who was the founder of this organization. The organization started about 2000.
Okay.
But in around 2010, when Kenya was working on the new constitution,
yes,
and there was a push to legalize abortion. And it's at that time that Dr. Kagia got a vision based on Moses' story, where the mother of Moses, the children were being murdered. The Jewish children were being murdered. The boys,
yes,
the boy's child was being murdered.
Yes.
But Dr. Kagia got this vision based on that story about the mother of Moses, made a basket, and put that child somewhere on the river Nile, and the Pharaoh's daughter came and saw the child crying and took the child and rescued the child.
Yeah.
So our vision is based on that biblical story about Moses.
Okay.
And that's how the rescue work started. But Protecting Life Movement has other it also deals with the advocacy for life, because we believe that every child has it's important that every child lives.
Yeah. And
that child, and the people who propagate the abortion, they tend to say that the life begins at birth, and yet life begins at conception.
Yeah.
Every child, as we read in Jeremiah 1:5, God knows us even before we were born. When we were born, He consecrates us for a purpose. And it doesn't matter in the circumstances in which you are born.
Yeah.
Every child is God's creation.
Now, you've mentioned a bit about Protect Life movement and some of the things that you do. And I would want us to get there. But what I want is for us to build some sort of a background and a context, for us to appreciate the kind of work that you do and why it is necessary. Now, why the need? Why the need? How does the scenario look like in terms of the situation that girls find themselves in, young women find themselves in? What's the scenario like?
We have a crisis where girls, it could be teens, it could be even women. I think we have a crisis where and this is coming from the way the world is looking at life and the way the world is looking at pregnancy. There are even married people who, when they get pregnant, they think this child should not live because it was unplanned. As we've said, no child is unplanned.
That's true.
Before God. And so because of that crisis of the way people are made to believe, for instance, you have one child that you had planned to have only 2 children. Then a third one come. So in that case, this woman and this man, because sometimes it's the couple, they feel it's a crisis. So, and the world is telling them, you have an option, and the option is to abort. As Protecting Life Movement trusts, we do not believe in abortion. Because that is not the solution. And I will explain later as we go in this discussion. And of course, also girls. The young girls, some of them are finding themselves in a crisis. Either they are raped, and they either as a result of incest in their families, they find themselves pregnant. At the moment, we have a 14-year-old girl from Makueni, pregnant in our rescue home, raped. 14-year-old. This is a child. And this child will have a child.
Oh, no.
Now, some parents opt for this, to take the child to abort. But I thank God for this family. The brother to this girl knew of our home, and he brought this girl. We have very, very many cases of girls we have rescued as a result of incest. Incest in the family, brothers, sisters, and unfortunately, even fathers.
Oh, no. Even fathers? Even fathers.
About 2 years ago, I think before COVID, we had a 13-year-old girl who was pregnant, and it was incest from the father. And the father had abused this girl for many years.
13-year-old?
Yes.
And that had happened for many years?
For many years. In fact, if you look at her, it looks like she was also mentally affected. It looks like she was even retarded because of this abuse.
That's a sad...
So that's the sad state of affairs in our nation. And it's not from one community, it's from all over Kenya.
All over Kenya.
These children we have rescued, they have come from all over Kenya. As far as Ramu, Kisumu, Murang'a, Nyeri, all over Kenya. So it's not one community.
It's a widespread plague, so to speak.
Yes.
So when we see in the news and we hear a case of, a father did this, an uncle did this, those are just like sample cases. But you're saying entrenched within our communities is this disregard first for the life of our little girls. That a relative would opt to abuse a girl, that even a father, I mean, that's really sad to hear.
Pastor Elijah, even a grandfather. We had a case where this man abused the daughter. He got a child. She got a child. A girl. Many years later, this man abused the grandchild.
Oh no.
So those are three generations.
So the man abused
the daughter. The daughter got a daughter, and this man then abused the granddaughter.
The daughter who is a granddaughter, because
yes.
there it is even more confusing.
Yes.
Oh no.
And of course, somebody rescued this granddaughter. She came to a rescue home. She got a beautiful baby boy. Now, because this case was also reported, they were even trying to either kill the boy, just of course to do away with evidence.
Yeah.
Because it was a court case.
Yeah. What? That speaks into, and I don't know how best to say this, but is that how sick we have gotten as a society?
Yes, that's how sick. That's how sick we've gotten. I don't know whether you also read a story of a case of this man who had abused two daughters, and they all had children. We only rescued the second one, but finally this man was jailed for 140 years. Yeah.
Yeah. At least now girls are safe.
Yes. But the biggest challenge we have is the fact that we don't talk about it. We don't talk about these issues.
Yeah.
When they happen in families, we tend to hush it. We make sure it doesn't get out of our circle.
Yeah.
But it's a problem.
Yeah. And maybe there's something there to mention. Just speak into that space, and later I will want us to go into the space of the work that you do, and in what ways you've been able to rescue girls and the paths that you offer for them. But that thing you said, we don't talk about it.
Yes.
And part of that is we try to protect family image.
Yes.
Just speak into that space, because sometimes what has happened is, what I have heard is, you've tried to protect family image and then the abuse has continued. So perhaps right now somebody's listening that knows a case.
Yes.
What should they do?
I think if the abuse is happening in the family, mothers should not protect the abusers. And I think the gender, there are places where they can report.
Yeah.
In fact, we did a campaign the last 2 years. We've been doing a campaign to stop incest.
Yes.
And even the police know that these things are rampant, but they are rarely reported. Even the data that the police have is not everything. And I think there's a number where one can call and report. And one, of course, if one calls our office, we'll be able to assist.
Yeah.
So the mothers should not protect abusers of children.
Yeah.
Like the case I was giving, this old man and who abused the daughter and abused the granddaughter. What surprised us is that the grandmother, who is the wife to this abuser, is the one who was very vocal that somebody is destroying her family.
Oh.
So it means she had even protected the husband when she abused the daughter.
Aye. Yeah. So that silence enabled continued abuse.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And it's important that, for instance, mothers, when your daughter comes and reports that they have been abused, it's important that we take it seriously.
Yeah.
And we investigate what and establish the truth. Because also what happens, the mothers sometimes, the adults, they silence the child. Of course, we have some communities where the wazee sit together and they decide, let's talk about this.
Let's solve it here.
Yeah, it can't be solved. And you know, by law, anybody having kind of knowledge of a girl before the age 17 is a crime.
Yeah.
It's a crime.
So a crime can't just be discussed and settled.
It can't be discussed. And this girl has a right. And I think what people need to appreciate is the impact of this abuse.
Yeah.
It does not end that one day with the abuse. It's a long time. It's a lifetime. It has a lifetime impact on the girl that is affected. Because the trauma goes deep.
Yeah. Wow. Now let's talk about the question of value.
Yeah.
Could it be that even the reason why the issues could easily be, talked about and hashed about and settled, could it be that perhaps we have placed a low value on our girls, and then later we'll talk about now the value that we attach to the unborn baby? But could it be it's because of the low value that we attach to the girls and the victims of abuse, and that is why a few people can gather and decide this matter is settled with a complete disregard for the person that is the victim?
I wouldn't say it's a low value, because we also need to look at our cultures, where we are coming from. Okay. Our cultures, I think some of the cultures is that when that girl is that age and they can give birth, it was acceptable. Yeah. And that's where also in some cultures, these are called taboo babies. Yes. And the way they solved the problem is once a child is born and is a taboo baby, it's a result of incest, that child would be killed. Oh. In some cultures. Yeah. That's how they dealt with the issue. Yeah. So I think that's these are some of the reasons behind why people hash it. And of course, people don't want to expose their own. Yeah. But we need to realize that the girl that is affected, has a right. Yeah. In today's situation, we cannot say our culture allows this. No, it should not be condoned. Yeah. Because we know something that we didn't know before. For instance, I know that when abuse happens, this girl gets traumatized. And this trauma impacts on these girls. And there are many issues that happen to these girls even when they grow up, even when they get married. Some of them cannot sustain their marriage because of what happened. Yeah. So I think we need to say no to incest, to abuse, because it's not right. Yeah. Yeah. I know somebody listening to this will say, why are we just focusing on the girls? Because unfortunately also in the recent past there has been cases of abuse, even of boys. And I think it would be important to say we are condemning all manner of abuse. Yes. It's just that our conversation today is tied both on abuse and the effects of that. Yes. And the question of crisis pregnancy that comes about. But now somebody wonders if, say, this is a child that has suffered under the hands of, say, a rogue man and an unfortunate, sick relative. And then there's a child now that has come into the picture. Somebody would ask, is it not, even as I've heard a phrase used, is it not wickedness for us to ask that girl to keep that baby? Yes, there are some people who have argued that, and let me say that it's true. Today, it's not only the girl who is at risk, even the boys are at risk.
Yes.
And I tell people, especially young parents, they need to take care not just of their girls, even their boys.
Yes.
And even when they are small, even a little girl just born, be vigilant.
Even an infant.
Yes, we've done a documentary and we interviewed very many people. Even infants are being abused.
Aye.
So this problem is bigger than we think.
Yeah.
So parents should take care of their children, even when you leave them with house help. Don't think they are safe. Always have that sixth sense of making sure that you are close to your children, so that if you see something abnormal, don't ignore it.
Yeah.
It's from there.
Yeah.
And even boys are affected.
Yeah. No, the other case was when people say whether we are being unfair to a girl that has been abused and now is pregnant. Yeah, whether we are being unfair to them or even wicked to them when we say
they keep,
they keep the baby.
I think we are not being unfair.
Yeah.
Based on what I said earlier, every child is God's creation. There is somebody who, the man who wrote Purpose Driven Life, Warren?
Yeah, Rick Warren.
Rick Warren. I think there is a statement I like in his book.
Yeah.
That there are no illegitimate children, there are only illegitimate parents.
Actions.
Yes.
Or actions, yeah.
Yes. So I think every child is God's creation. And somebody has said, imagine if Barack Obama was aborted.
Yeah.
Would we have had such a president in America?
Nope.
So nobody knows about this God's creation.
Yeah.
And that verse in Jeremiah 1:5 says, he knew us before we are born, and when we are born, we are consecrated for a purpose. So nobody knows that purpose.
Yeah.
So nobody has a right to terminate this child.
Yeah.
Once that child is conceived, that child should be allowed to live.
Yeah.
And that's where one has an option. If you don't want to keep a child, then give that child for adoption.
Yeah. But do not commit another crime, commit another evil on account of the evil that was done to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't murder this child.
Okay.
Just because there's somebody wicked.
Yeah.
Who did this wicked action.
Do not be partakers of their wickedness.
Yes,
as well.
Do not be partakers of their wickedness.
Yeah, okay.
Let the child live.
Yeah.
If you don't want to keep the child,
you can give them up for adoption.
Give them up for adoption.
Yeah.
And somebody will take care of that child.
And it is true, the conversation that we are having today, yes, could change everything about you that is listening to us, watching us, and perhaps is on the verge of making a decision that could change everything about your life. We pray that you would actually reconsider. But also this could change everything in the sense that we're talking about cases of abuse. And that actually does change everything about the victim's life. That it is not just the one incident, but it is the ripple effects of everything that follows. This is Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. And today we are talking about protect life. How is this conversation finding you? What are some of the things that you have to process? What are the cases that you have had of victims of abuse? Please do send us your comments, your feedback. 20316 is our SMS line. 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. My name is Elijah Mokaya, and our guest today is Mrs. Margaret Mwaura from Protect Life Movement Trust. Welcome back.
Thank you, Elijah.
Yeah, this today is a bit of a somber is a somber conversation, especially also as I'm thinking as a father as well. You know, I have a boy. He's grown now. He's in his late teens. But I have a 3-year-old daughter and another one on the way coming. And I'm just wondering, is this the kind of society that we live in? But now, before we listen to that song, you are arguing a case for the value of the unborn child, and the fact that despite how they come, the means through which they come, they're still of value and of worth to God.
Yes.
And so is that the basis for what you do as an organization, as Protect Life Movement?
Yes, that is our conviction, that every child has a right to live, and every girl has a right also to be protected.
Yeah.
And that girl, once, if that girl is pregnant, finds themselves in a crisis pregnancy, our responsibility is to support her through the pregnancy, so that she's able to carry the pregnancy and deliver that child safely.
Yeah.
So when we made a decision that I think I said that we began when there was this push to legalize abortion.
Yes, in 2010.
And we believe that abortion is not the only option. In fact, it's not an option. For us, it's not an option because of what happens to this girl and this child, who this girl goes through abortion. I've had situations where I have talked to girls who have gone through abortion, and the pain that girl goes through, even later in life, is not something you wish to see somebody go through. Of course, you know, there are those, once they abort, they are not able, even if they get married, they are not able to have children. Because they have been sort of damaged. Because some of the circumstances they go through is so damaging. I have seen women in pain. I know an old lady who I was talking to, and she had aborted. She's even older than me.
Wow.
And she's still in pain when she remembers what she went through. And so it's not, for us, it's not an option. We believe, and our late Dr. Kagia would say, abortion, pregnancy, this abortion is not a medical problem. It's a social problem. Because what we need is, if you find this girl, your daughter or your sister is pregnant, take care of them. Allow them to go through the pregnancy. They will give birth. It only takes 9 months. And once they give birth, they can even go back to school. And once they go back to school, they can do the things they want to do in life. But let this child live. It's a social problem.
It's a social problem. And I like what you said, because I think there's something there to touch on. That abortion does not necessarily protect the girl who's pregnant. It doesn't save them in any way. That actually there are other issues that even this so-called solution brings about. It's
people see it as, you know, it has been marketed as the solution, that women have a right, you know, to their body, you know, that language that they use. But it is not what we see, it's not what we hear. It has so many side effects. There are people who have even, I think I had somebody was arguing, even some of the breast cancer issues, could come from there.
Oh no.
It may not be with everybody.
Yeah, but some.
But some. And so there are so many other problems.
Yeah.
I've heard of girls who if they hear a child crying, they remember. They remember that they aborted a child.
Yeah.
So I think abortion is not the solution. That's what we are saying.
Yeah.
And as Protecting Life Movement Trust, our commitment is any girl who finds themselves in crisis pregnancy, we have a home. We have a place where they can come. We take care of them for 9 months. They give birth. We allow them 1 month or 2 months to stay with us. They take care of this child after they deliver. We are committed also to link them back. In the process, if we get a girl and we try as much as possible to talk to the parents so that once the girl delivers, you know the crisis.
Yes.
It's understandable that a parent, your daughter is in school, she gets pregnant.
Yeah.
Even the parent is in a crisis. So that is understandable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the crisis go. I remember I think the first child we rescued, I think in 2011, one of the first girls that we rescued gave birth to a beautiful boy called Victor. I think she named him Victor. The story of this girl is she got pregnant. The mother told her, when you come back to the house, don't come with that thing. So she even gave her money. But the girl was clever.
Yeah.
So she went out, she thought, she went to a girl who had been a house help in their house. And so she went to this house help was staying in Madara. She stayed there. That's how they discovered that Protecting Life Movement has an option. She came.
Yeah.
Giving this story because when the girl gave birth, the father was very happy that she's named. It's in a culture where you name your child after the father, your own father. So the girl was named the father, and the father was very excited. Of course, she was very angry with the mother because the mother is the one who threw her out. Yeah. So the point is, even if a mother and a father, they are in this crisis, they are embarrassed. Yeah. It's just for a time. In most of our cultures, when we see a child,
it changes everything.
It changes everything. Yeah. So most of these girls, once the child is born, even the hostile parents would want this child. Yeah. So we are there to assist this parent and this girl who is in crisis pregnancy, go through these few months of crisis. Yeah. But when the child is born, we all have children. So it's important that parents realize that it's just for a moment. Yeah. And you know, I was telling some people, we have become so focused on, you know, when we see the materialistic society that we are in, our values, something has gone wrong. Yeah. Because we think education is everything, and it's not everything. That's true. Because how many now you give your daughter money, because I had a father. This was a father who gave the daughter money to go in a boat, and this daughter was in college. So your daughter gets a boat. Yes, she finishes college, but she's left in pain because this girl is in pain. So I think we need to rethink our values. Yeah. This girl will still get we'll get this child and we'll go back to school.
That's true. That's true. And like you said, this whole school or material prosperity,
yes,
you know, they are not necessarily the ultimate in life. But
no,
just briefly, because I want us to listen to another song by Michael W. Smith. Since when you began till now, around how many girls have you been able to rescue through this whole crisis pregnancy situation?
We have rescued about 216. And as I said earlier, they come from all over Kenya.
Yeah.
In fact, we even, one time, we rescued a girl from Burundi. We rescued a girl from Congo.
Wow.
The girl from Congo came to us from UNHCR. She was a refugee, got abused, and she got a baby. So about 216. And they come from all over the country.
Yeah. Wow, praise the Lord for that. That's not a small task.
Yes.
Those are 216 girls rescued, but also those
babies.
are over 216 babies that have been rescued. I have had the privilege of visiting one of your rescue centers, and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
And one of the saddest story for me was a girl who was mentally challenged, was actually abused in the streets and got pregnant, and was in one of your rescue centers. And I think that challenged me. Indeed, it may look like we are surrounded, but really we are surrounded by Christ if you have put your faith in Christ Jesus. This is Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. And today is both a challenging conversation and an inspiring story of men and women that have taken upon themselves the burden of helping girls through crisis pregnancy. Today we are talking about Protect Life, and we are joined by Mrs. Margaret Mwaura from Protect Life Movement Trust. Now, let me just remind us as well at this time that we are able here at Family Media to continue bringing you conversations like this by virtue of partnership with men and women like yourself, people who come alongside us in prayer and through your financial giving. And so this is an encouragement that you consider being one of our partners, and so feel free to send an SMS to 20316 with the word partner, and somebody will get back to you. But in the event that you would like to give towards the work that we do here, feel free to do that through paybill number 316 and for account, kindly write your phone number. But for now, let's get back to this conversation. Welcome back, Mrs. Margaret.
Thank you.
Now, you've helped us, just see the gravity of the situation that we found ourselves in, and just the amazing work that you do at Protect Life Movement. Like I'd mentioned, I've had the privilege of visiting one of your rescue centers. In fact, the late Dr. Jean Kagia was a good friend of mine, and I had hoped I would host her in the show. Unfortunately, the Lord took her to be with him, and we thank God that she knew the Lord. How many centers do you have currently, those that reach out to girls and rescue girls who are in crisis pregnancy?
Before COVID, we had a rescue center in Kwale.
Okay.
And a rescue center in Muranga.
Okay.
We were also about to open a rescue center in Nyeri. But after COVID, we evaluated, and we said, let's concentrate on Muranga. Kware had, because of the many challenges in that area, that home, we let it go. A family had given us a house where we were housing girls, but we had many challenges running the home. So we decided to close it for after COVID. So at the moment we have the rescue home in Muranga, and I want to say that maybe something that I need to also mention is that this work is God's work. And we have seen God in many ways. The first home we had in Muranga, a family gave us the home. We had tried to fundraise. We had done a budget, 16 million. But even before we started fundraising, a family gave us, they had a home which they were not using, so they gave us. That's where we started.
Okay.
We operated there for many years. Then when they needed their home back, somebody gave us 1 acre of land in Muranga. We raised money and we put up a house. That's where we have a home at the moment.
And you're able to reach if someone from whatever part of this country?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, those girls that we have rescued have come from all over this country.
Yeah.
And we house them there.
Yeah.
And
all right.
We have not had any challenge.
Oh, wow. Now, in case somebody is listening and they're like, I like what Protect Life Movement Trust is doing, you know, in what ways can someone partner with you, for instance, in the work that you're doing, which I must say is really commendable work in rescuing these girls?
I think there are many ways one can partner with us in giving. Give for girls. For us, even the furniture we have in the home is donated. Yeah. So everything, people can donate whatever God enables you to donate. Yeah. You can donate food, you can donate clothes. For instance, if you have children's clothes, the girls can use, these girls can use those clothes. So people can donate in kind, whatever God enables you to donate. Yeah. And of course, this work, one thing we believe is also a spiritual war from a Christian point of view. Yeah. So pray. Yeah. Partner with us in prayer. Yeah. And of course, giving is important. We don't have big donors, the ones we know, but every one of us gives whatever God enables you. Even the board members, the partners that have walked this journey with us, they give to support the girls, to pay the salaries. We have a very lean office to pay those staff. On the ground at the home, we have a house mother, deputy house mother, a gardener, and a security person. So we operate. We try to manage costs, but even when you manage costs, there are still costs. So people can partner with us in all these ways. Currently, we are before our late Dr. Kagia passed on, we were working on. We have an office in Nairobi. We have rented at Nazarene, the Church of the Nazarene. Yeah. And our desire is to move our office to the rescue home in Muranga. Yeah. And so we are trying to raise resources so that we can put up an office block. Yeah. And of course continue with the work. So we are trying to fundraise at the moment. To put up that building, to occupy for the office space, and at the same time, of course, to continue with the work. We have many dreams, because our vision is also to put up a center where we can train girls. Yeah. We can even we can have a place even to train parents on these issues that we are talking about, to speak to even people who may want to learn how to deal with certain psychological issues. So we have that vision. That is long term, but short term is move the office, and in future we also raise funds to put up a training center to reach out to girls, to empower girls. And even the communities, so that we see this serious problem of making sure no child is aborted. Yeah. We are organizing a dinner on the 1st of November, where we'll be raising, we invite people to celebrate Dr. Kagia and to continue with her legacy. Yeah. So we have a dinner. We are hoping to bring together 200 people The dinner is costing 10,000 shillings. We'll be holding it at Nairobi Hospital,
okay.
Conventional Center.
Okay. 1st November, you said?
1st of November.
Okay. And I think what we'll do is, for anyone, we'll be able to pass on the details.
Yes.
Yeah, just because our time, unfortunately, is currently up.
Okay.
But we'll pass on the details. We'll also pass on the contact detail for the Protect Life Movement Trust for anyone that would like to come alongside the work that you do. But thank you so much, Mrs. Margaret Mwaura. What a privilege and an honor this has been. And we do know that there are many who have listened or watched that will change their perspective and change a life, in fact, protect a life. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Reverend Elijah.
Yeah. Wow, we have come to the end of our conversation today. It is our hope and prayer that from today, you will actually start protecting a life. And so this is goodbye from us. We hope that you have learned something, but above all, we hope that this conversation has transformed your thinking about each life. Every life matters. See you again next Monday.